Hello, everybody. Hello, Miss Polly. Hello, Miss Grant. How are you? I didn't know if I felt up to doing a show today or not. It has been a busy couple of days. I ended up spending 10 hours away from home yesterday helping my daughter who had some oral surgery done on her mouth. And I tell you what, she felt so good as long as she was loopy. And then when the medicine wore off, it's not that she was in pain. She just kind of felt like she had been hit by a truck. But anyway, it was so wonderful to be able to take care of her. She's 43 now, so it's kind of hard to have time to take care of your children once they're grown-ups. But hello, everyone. Debbie and, Alexis, it is so good to see you. Yeah, she had a root canal and a crown, but then the tooth started to give way under the crown. So being 43, she thought, I don't want to just have a gap there. It's an important molar. And so she had an implanted stem, and she's going to get a dental implant tooth there. So it's expensive, but she wants to maintain her dental health as long as she can. And one thing I didn't know is that if you were to get a false tooth there, they have to do crowns on the teeth on either side to hold the wire that holds that bridge in place. So she said, I'd really rather not do that to two healthy teeth. And so anyway, she's doing good. And oh gosh, she was so funny. Lisa's here. And she's so funny. There was a movie I loved called 50 First Dates. And there was 10-Second Tom, who it was just a cute character on there who had short-term memory loss. And that was Becky yesterday. You would tell her something and she'd answer you. And then 5 minutes later, she'd ask the question. So I told her, boy, I could have, hi, Miss Mary. Hi, Marcia. I could have such fun with her. So I was gone. You won't believe this. I had to leave the house at 7:30 yesterday. Normally, I turn over for my last part of my night's sleep at 7:30. So it was a long day, but I love getting to see her and the grandkids. I got to go pick them up and bring them home. So it was just wonderful spending time with her. Oh, and we watched the new Netflix, I think it's new, Netflix movie, Christmas at the Castle, with Brooke Shields and Carrie Elways. And I tell you what, if I look like Brooke Shields does at 56, oh, honey, I would be just telling everybody about it. So it was a really sweet movie. I loved it. So anyway, I'll show you my blue hands, because that fabric that I was using for the second swirly tree, and I really didn't like the tans in it, but I love the round circles for the snowballs. Well, I said, I'm going to bleach it. See if I can get the tans out. Well, what happened is the gray went out and left more tans. So now I'm trying to re-dye it with some light cerulean blue. We'll see what happens. Who knows? So it was nice to spend time with her. Cheryl is here. And Patricia is here. Oh boy, I hope I've covered everybody. Polly, Debbie, everybody. So today I had to get up early again, because today was my 1-year cancer recheck. And so I went in and they do a contrast. So you have to have an IV, easy, no big deal. And you lay on the CT scan and they do it. Well, they forgot that I needed a chest x-ray too. So so I had the CT scan, went to see the doctor. Then after I saw my surgeon, then I went back and had the chest x-ray. And my surgeon told me, he said, this is your 1 year all clear. That's a big day. That's a big deal. So I was like, yeah. Now, he did have to call later in the afternoon and say they either found what might be a little nodule or a shadow that just, nothing shadow that showed up on your x-ray. But since, I had cancer last year, they always are extra careful. And they're going to go back and just do a regular CT scan of my lungs. But he said, I'm not worried. So I'm not going to be worried. And when I looked it up, nodules are like dots. They're not a mass. And 96% of the time, they're nothing. So I'm not worried. So, and I'm never a smoker. So I don't really think I am at the risk for that. So anyway, but I'm not worried. And now we go to every 6 months. And then after I have 2 free and clear 6-month cycles, then I go to once a year. So I'm very happy. And thank you, sweetheart. And I want to thank Dr. Sivian, who is a wonderkind and just the best, and who knows me even better than Mark because he's held my intestines in his hands. But anyway, I want to thank him. He was lovely today. Really made me feel very good. And thank you, sweetheart. And I want to thank Atrium Wake Forest Hospital here in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. We're so lucky to have excellent medical care. The whole state has excellent medical care. So anyway, that part is done. So I'm kind of tired, and this show's probably going to be brief because this afternoon when I got home, I was at the doctor. Since they kind of had to fit me back in for an x-ray, I was at the doctor's office about 4 hours. So I'm tired, or at the hospital unit. Oh gosh, and they're redoing the parking garage, which was crazy anyway, and now it's being built and crazy. And so I'm tired. I got in the hammock this afternoon because that's my special treat. And with my Christmas tree going up this weekend, I'm going to have to take my hammock down. So I got in my hammock, fell sound asleep. Then Mark had to come wake me up so we could take our second car in to get it fixed because the same daughter, she hit a deer a few weeks ago. And so State Farm, excellent auto insurance company, she had 30 days use of a rental car. But with everything else that's backed up, so is car repair right now. So she's going to need to borrow our second car, and it's kind of been running rough. So we took that. So we had to drive up real quick, take that to the shop to let them work on it. So it's always something. But anyway, I tell you, I know that hospital's tricky. First, I went and parked in Area B and then went up. Wait a minute, that's for Janeway Tower. I want the cancer center. So then I got back in, came back to the car, got back in, went to B and said, I see the flying bridge. Okay, I'm in the right place. And I still made it to my appointment early. Then had to sit and wait for over a half an hour because it was busy. I guess end of the year. Everybody's getting their rechecks. So, but I was treated so wonderfully. I'm going to tell you this cute thing. At the parking garage, they have the low beams because it's kind of low. Oh, thank you, Marcia, darling. People, when you come in, they check your temperature. They ask you if you've been exposed to COVID. You have to wear a mask. Then they give you a Today sticker. Well, at some point in the last year and almost 2 years, people have been taking their stickers and putting them on the concrete beam on the ceiling of the parking garage. I did it today. I said, it's a touch high for me, but I'm going to get my sticker up there. So I left one too. And there's something about that camaraderie ship. I don't know. It's kind of like somebody started it. Who knows? Maybe they just didn't want to take the trash into their car, the little sticker. But I look at it as, yes, another month, we made it. So I should have taken a picture. Next time I go, I'm going to take a picture of all these stickers on the concrete beam. on all the beams in the parking garage. And I said, thank goodness they're extremely light, non-weight, or else it might be a problem. But I got my sticker up there too. So the good news is, because they're redoing the parking garage and it's such a mess, if you just had to have your doctor or cancer center validate the thing, and I didn't have to pay for it. So I want to show you the cutest thing. I found this the other day looking through the quilts, and this is a paper piece quilt pattern. Is this the cutest? And I probably made it 10 to 13 years ago. But isn't that sweet? And it still has the paper on it. And some of the paper, this was, I think, tissue paper, and that has really yellowed. But isn't that neat? So here is a cute, cute Christmas tree. And I love it. So I'm going to finish this so I can get it hung up. So anyway, another thing. But anyway, I told y'all last week, hold on. I told y'all last week that I was going to have all the thread painting done and my landscape finished. Well, on Saturday's Jitsi, I worked on it. And it was a good thing I did, because that's the only time I've gotten near it since last Thursday. But I did get this finished. I still need to put a couple more coats of the acrylic sealer, something really hard since this is out in the weather. But I got this filled in, and now it's refreshed and ready to go outside my door. So very happy to have that done. And, I know what I was going to show you. I love trying all kinds of weird stuff. So about a month and a half ago, I ordered these off of eBay, inexpensive. It was like $3 or $4 for these little sheets of fingernail decals. You know, the decals where you cut them out and you put them in a little bit of water, and then the decal slides off the paper. Oh yes, I'm supposed to show you Bobbin Work. And that's where you take a too thick of a thread or yarn, something that's too thick to go through the needle. You hand wind it on your bobbin, and then you do your thread painting upside down so that the bobbin thread is on the front of the quilt. Now, the one thing you have to do for Bobbin Work is then you want to draw a pattern of what's on the front, on the back, where you're actually going to do your thread painting. If you're going to do grass and stuff, get something that'll show, some tailor's chalk or something, and draw so you'll know where to do the Bobbin Work. I will do that next week. I forgot I must have put it in the description, and I want to show you Bobbin Work, because you can take the fanciest, thickest yarn. And now the one thing you have to remember when you do Bobbin Work, you might have to use, you'll have to wind a couple bobbins, because not much of the thick stuff goes on the bobbins. So you run out pretty quickly. But anyway, what in the world? This doesn't even look good. What happened to it? I have no idea. But I used some of those fingernail decals on this ball. I think it's atrocious. I'm going to paint over it. But I thought I would show you. I don't know what that is. It's like almost that there was a black overspray on this, but I don't feel anything. So who knows why that white stripe. But I'm going to paint over it. And it was a lot of work trying to put the little things on, but that's it. Not enough for me. So this was a fail. You know, I always show you when it's successes and fails. This was a fail, but I can either scrape off the decals or paint right over them. Not a problem. Now the white, that's kind of set in. because it's done through the inside. You can see where it's built up at the opening where I put it upside down on a skewer to let it drain. And I tried to mix in a little bit of pink in it, but it doesn't do anything for me. You would like a sign like that? It's a cool sign because I like having it. Back when I used to have students pre-COVID, I would have that sign outside my studio so they would know to come right off the driveway into my studio. And now I just like it. I've been sewing for a long time to finally get a studio. I started on the dining room table. How many of us started out on the kitchen or the dining room table? So, and as Mark likes to say, I have 2 rooms now because I put my frame up in the unused 3rd bedroom. And I think he's a little jealous, even though it was just sitting there. All right, so now I'm going to kind of show you where I am today and kind of putz with it. But, I thought I'd love to talk to you about what's going to happen this weekend. We're lucky here. It is going to be 69 degrees Saturday. So I'm going to go out on my back deck because, I go a little wild with planting pots out on my back deck. So I'm going to go out and arrange them in one nice, neat little pile, cut down the dead stems of tomatoes and lantana and all of that, and just kind of neaten it because my son and my daughter-in-law and my grandsons are going to be coming up right after Christmas, and I can't wait. So when you get this age, you can't clean in 2 days like you did when you were 40. Oh, no, you can't. You'll be lucky if you can clean in 2 weeks. So when I got back thank you, Mary, for reminding them to use thumbs up. Oh, we have Carol Welsh. Oh, hi, sweetie. Very nice to see you. So I was thinking, no. That Carol is a different Carol because I was thinking she seemed familiar. But anyway, I'm so glad to see Alexis, Miss Grand here. And we've missed her. Haven't we missed her? And we absolutely love her hand embroidery. And if you want to see perfect stitches, that's Miss Grand. So I'm hoping I'm hoping she's not overly busy and soon or is already working on a new project. Oh, Grand, I wish I had my granddaughter's dress. I think you'd like it. And I showed it last week, so maybe you'll see it on there. But my granddaughter's all into steampunk, and it's so much fun. So, okay. So hopefully we're getting the secondary car fixed. Then my good car with only 35,000 miles on it is having a little problem. It's a known problem by Honda Odyssey, and we're going to have to take it in and have them flush the transmission because it does what they call a judder, which is like a stutter when you first put on the gas. So we'll get it fixed. You love embroidery, but you're not good at it. Let me tell you, there are certain things I'm not good at. I try, but I'm not good at. So I guess you have to pick your battles. Unless you're Carol Magical. She is good at amazing amount of things. So here's what I've gotten so far. And I'm liking the bigger pieces, at least like as a background to put then smaller pieces on. So it's getting better. And I think the thing I like most about it is it's going with the bottom instead of fighting it. You see what I'm saying? And I put black in along the bottom because then I'm going to have in black some tall grasses so that you look like you're kind of hidden in the tall grasses looking out over the African savanna. And let me see. I moved my tree and giraffe because here they are. Because I have a tree and a giraffe that are going to, now where did my giraffe go? That's the problem. Things sneak around here. All right. Hold on just a second. When I move my mouse, y'all shrunk down. And I need to be able to see y'all. Okay. So now let me pin these in place real quick so you can kind of see what it's going to look like with these in place. All right. But I really do want to get this done. Things are getting a little crazy as they do before Christmas. You know how that is. And I was starting to wonder if I was ever going to get my tree and get it put up. But today when the doctor said, this is a big milestone, I thought, yep, I'm going to decorate and put up a tree. I've got grandbabies coming over, and I am here and healthy, so I need to celebrate that. Oh, okay. Hold on just a second, peeps. It's hard to get a non-sharp pen through layers and layers of fabric. Okay, now here we go. See if it's looking better, especially with these on it. What do you think? So they're not straight. It's okay. But and I've still got to go up here and around the sky. But I've got to tell you, I like having the stripes down the sides of it. That's new and different for me, and I like it. Tell me what you're thinking of it. And see, up here, it's going to go all the way up, and then I'm going to start the stripes again once I get this sunset worked up. So is that better? And thank you so much. Oh, Hazel Blomkamp is extraordinary. Write that down, everybody, because my ladies are the smartest things and they find the best people. But I like this now for the sunset. And then I'm excited to work on, then I'm going to do the lines on each outside edge going up. So I think that'll be kind of cool. Oh, I was going to work on it tonight here with you. I think I'm tired. It is hard to be creative when you're tired. I pulled out some more interesting fabrics because I'm finding that having a range of fabrics is really good for this work. Y'all are the best. So I will, oh man, boy, did I have that tree and the giraffe. They're all leaning, they're tilting. It must be a windstorm. But I'm going to continue. Let me just show you so you'll understand what I'm saying too. Sometimes I use shorthand. Shorthand speech. Okay. So what I'm going to do is continue with the bigger look, the softer look of the intense part of the sunset. But then this little, it looks like a kind of log cabin work. And it's I especially like it on this side. And see how I love these different colors are really, let me turn it sideways. I just love how this looks going up. So I'm going to make sure to do it both sides. And I think that way I've done what I said about having a unique, I love about having a unique background, something pushing me out of my comfort level, and something that's not just strictly realistic. So can you cut the black items from black material? Okay, how I cut them so precise is I take, oh, I don't have it here. But what I do is I take my fusible, and on the paper side, I draw it, remembering that it's going to be mirror image, because by the time you flip it to the fusible and iron your fabric on it, so you draw it backwards. And so I just draw it exactly how I want it to look. Then I take it as it is, and I put my black fabric for the tree, because you can even see that the paper part of the fusible is still there. So I then, once all of this is ironed onto the black, it's ironed on really good, then I take where I've drawn from the back, where I've drawn all the lines, I carefully cut out all of the little parts. So it's very fussy cutting, but to me it is so worth it. And I am really in love with silhouettes and the starkness. What a silhouette does when you've got so much else going on. And the reason they're silhouettes, and this will become a little darker too, is when you're looking into the intense sun, anything in front of it tends to look black. You can't see the color because there's so much brightness here. So I added a little bit more color instead of making this all black, but I'm going to come back in and do black tall grasses and things to kind of give it a look of cover. Because see, I could have done the whole bottom black, but I thought, oh, I want to see something. So I just used dark colors. And these light strips are coming from the sunset. These are supposed to be the high points of land that are reflecting the sunset light. And oh, I went back to it. Do you see how I put bright white on it? This right here is a pale, pale yellow. These are bright white to really give that intensity. Okay? And then I'm going to have a little turquoise because I've got it in the water. I'm trying to, one thing I like to do, oh, thank you, sweetie. One thing I like to do is bounce color around your work. And the reason I bounce color around, thank you. The reason I bounce color around, you want the eye to move around your work. Any good painting, any good quilt doesn't just make you look at one place. You try to draw the eye. Usually one thing. Now, I feel like when people first see this, the first thing they're going to see is the giraffe. The way that human beings are made, we notice a possible food or threat as the first thing. So our eye will be drawn to that first. Then we'll be drawn to the tree because they're so stark. And then I want our eyes to be shown, diffused out and around the quilt. And at some point they'll notice this because that's different. And so you want them to enjoy. You were studying the sunrise. And sunrises and sunsets are different. And it's really good for you to realize. I always hate movies when it's supposed to be a sunrise and it's really a sunset. And it's like, that's not accurate, because the sky is not brightly orange for a sunrise. It tends to be a real whitish, bluish. And this is definitely a sunset. That's when you get more of the oranges and different things in it. So I wish I wasn't so tired. I would work on this more. I apologize that I'm going to be pushing this back yet another week. But I thought, I still wanted to come see y'all and talk to you about it. And thank goodness I had Jody to keep me company, and Patricia stopped by, and Sonia kept me company working on this. We were all working. Sonia was cleaning a room up, and Jody was working on a wonderful project. Jeannie even stopped by to say hello. So it gave me a couple of hours just to focus on this. And I do want to say thank you so much for the ladies. It was Jody, it was Mary, and it was Sheila, and a couple others of you might have also said something. But Cheryl, not Sheila, Cheryl. And thank you so much for caring enough to help me figure this out. Because I'm going to say it again, as corny as it sounds, it takes a village to make a good quilt. So, yeah, exactly. Thank you. I did this when I did a seaside quilt and it had a sunset, and I wanted it to feel like it was almost going to hurt your eyes. You know that feeling you get? So thank you. And then having these, what do you call them? Silhouettes, these dark silhouettes against the bright really reinforces the brightness here, because having the darkest and the lightest right there together really makes it pop. So here it is. And yep, I'm going to keep working on it. You know, it's so funny. I've told y'all last week, and I showed it to you, I said it's at the adolescent stage. It's a little awkward, not the prettiest, but stay with it. And you saw me last week pull all my stripes off and said, it's not working. Let's do it again. And with your help, you are helping me pull this all together. And I love how at the top, it's going to transition into a deep purple for the coming nighttime. So thank you. I do want to put some large predator bird kind of soaring in the sunset sky. So I'll try to do that. And so let's see what I can do. And thank you for all of your help. And I am sorry I've been so busy this week. But you know what I'm doing? I told Mark, I'm at this stage where I need to be very careful. My color is off on the camera, so I apologize. I might have hit a button that said, oh, do it in all shades of blue. But I told Mark, we're going to be real careful. We don't want to get sick. I don't want to overdo. This is the time of year. I used to traditionally, when I had younger children at home, and I didn't have a good helpmate like my Mark, I did it all myself, and I would get sick. Every January, I'd spend the month ill. And I'm not going to do that anymore. I can't afford to. So, all of us take your vitamins sometimes, and I take vitamin D and vitamin B12, but I'm going to take a good senior citizen multivitamin, because when you get busier, whether it's happy busy or whether it's stress busy, you can still get sick, and we don't want that to happen. So take real good care of yourself. I made a pot the other day after Mark had his colonoscopy, which turned out very good. And I made a pot of cal de verde, and that is a Portuguese soup. That is a wonderful peasant dish. And to me, there's nothing better than peasant food, because it goes to the heart and soul. It is the ultimate comfort food in whatever nationality. And so I found this recipe, and it's a Portuguese, and because we had a friend who was from Portugal, and so I made him some Portuguese bread and a big pot of cal de verde. And how you make it is you can get chorizo or Portuguese sausage or kielbasa, and you slice it into rounds, and then you put a bunch of olive oil and onions and garlic and the slices of the sausage, and you cook them all good, sweat them down really good. Then you add like a quart of chicken broth, and you add some white cannelloni beans or white small navy beans that you've soaked overnight, or if they're in a can, you put them in near the end. And then you put in a grated potato, and then just, I think, salt and pepper. And then you take kale and you rinse it really good, and you do what's called a chiffonade. You kind of bunch it and roll it a little bit, and then you take and cut thin little slivers, like confetti of it. And you put that in, and then let that cook for about an hour on a slow simmer. And that soup, all of my children loved it, and I thought they would hate it. But caldo verde means green stew or green soup, and they love it. And you know what? When we eat that, I swear we're not going to get a cold then, because it has like, I love when they call it pot liquor, which is the broth of a soup that sometimes the combination is just right. And so it's so, so, so healthy. Yes, aren't peasant foods just wonderful? So I made a big pot of it. It made 3 dinners worth. And I've got 2, when we save a dinner like a soup, I save us a quart and a pint for the dinner. If it's spaghetti sauce, we can do fine with just a quart, and then we have leftovers. So, but I made that for Mark the night after he had his colonoscopy, because I thought that would that would make him feel good. And it did. It really did. So I wanted to just show you this real quick. Do you remember the Zentangle Stars that I put on our site? And you can do Zentangle designs on them. And then you can color them, or you can print them off on like colored cardstock or colored paper and then glue it to cardstock. Well, I just found this little star sitting here, and I thought, I want to show you what it looks like folded up. And this is just printer paper. This is not even the cardstock. Do you see my blue fingers from re-dyeing that fabric? Okay, so you have the lines to fold it on this side, but this is going to be the front side, so you're not staring at lines. So when you do your Zentangle or any kind of design you do it on the plain side, and you should be able to see the lines through it. But what you do then, let me see if I can get this done really good. Get it folded down nice and neat. See how it shows the dotted lines. You fold inwards. The solid lines get folded upwards. So look what happens. And if you can picture, if this were cardstock, whoops, this one's the wrong way. Hold on. Okay, if this were cardstock, can you see how you would end up with a pretty cool star? And I'm going to try to do some where I glue to the edges and put 2 together and see if I can get what looks like a solid star. So I just thought I would show you. I love every year searching for these little sweet things to do that cost virtually nothing, and something you can work on when you're thinking about the coming holidays. Because this year, it's been an expensive year. So we all agreed we're going to make things for each other or bake things for each other, and we're going to save the gift giving for the children. And so I'm actually more excited that we're actually making and doing things for each other. Isn't that neat? I thought you would like that. Thank you to Bonnie from AQS. That's where I got this pattern. It's free. Came in my AQS email newsletter. And if you want, it was free. She gave it out for free. And I ended up making it so it's 4 stars per page. You can let me come right on here. You can jot me an email, Our Time To Quilt, and at PWC. Whoops. I try not to put my glasses on, but I always have to. I mean, what's a girl supposed to do? Our Time To Quilt at twc.com. Send me an email. I'll send you the pattern. You know what? Yeah. See, and it's a great thing for children. And depending on their age, any child can color it. And then if they're old enough, they can learn to do the folding, or you can do it for them. And then you just take a hole punch a little hole in the top, put a cute little ribbon. You've got a sweet little ornament. And when my kids were growing up, I tried every year to have them make something that they could give to all the relatives that gave them presents. So one year we took oyster shells and painted them. And, then that one year I bought little plaster pretend ornaments and they paint, whatever it was, we did. Could you make them with fabric? Yes, you actually could. You could take a cardstock. You could put fusible on the fabric, iron it to the sheet of cardstock, printed it or print a cardstock first, then fuse a sheet of fabric on the top as long as you can press. Now, I have a feeling it would be better to iron the creases if they have fabric on them. So just be careful and run your iron, on the fabric side. And just remember, don't put your fabric on the printed side. Put your fabric on that side. So what a great idea, Polly. That's a wonderful idea. I had this project I'd started 2 years ago. I thought, oh, it's so cool. And you take and cover these diamond shapes with fabric. And then you're supposed to kind of stitch them together and make, I think it was a Moravian star. Oh my gosh, that was so hard and complex. Somewhere there's still a baggie with those little papers and a little bit of fabric, and I will never finish them. So next time I find them, I'm throwing them away. That way, get that pressure off me. Speaking of throwing away, I the other morning, was it Tuesday morning? Yes, because I knew I was going to be with my daughter taking care of her all day Wednesday. Tuesday morning, I went into my frame room where I had 3 bags of paper strips. That, you know how I like to make paper beads? Well, sometimes you have to say no to junk mail. You just have to say no. Throw it away. It's not worth it. You can't save every piece of junk mail. I end up cleaning it out. And I had a big bag full of paper. I just had to say, you're not going to just store junk paper. So I threw it away, and that feels so good. That feels so good. Because when stuff starts piling up, when I collect too many things, it just saps my creativity. So if you have a day you're feeling frustrated, look around and see what you can throw away. Because I'm going to be doing that the first of this year. This room, and oh my gosh, if you could see my laundry room, it's awful. And I'm going to start throwing stuff away. Stuff I used to think I want to do that I no longer want to do. It's time to move it out of here. So, but Mark, so much better. And I said, I don't know about the room, but I feel a lot better. So anyway, fire pit kindling, really. Oh gosh. Oh, what a great idea, Grant. I didn't even think about that. So, I've got, Saturday morning, we're doing a Jitsi, and you have to belong to our group or send me an email at Our Time To Quilt, and I'll shoot you a quick invitation. So you've got my email address there. and we're just going to sit and chat. The thing I love about our Jitsi chats is we don't have to type. We just all sit and talk. And I try not to talk too much because I want to hear what you have to say. I talk every time we do a live stream. I don't want to hear myself anymore. So, but I am going to, by Saturday morning, have my Merry Mayhem mystery fabric all chosen. And I'm going to be showing you how to cut it out. Now, if you're not doing the Merry Mayhem mystery, don't worry. You come and sit and chat. You can just, like Patricia was so nice. She joined us. She didn't work on anything. She just told us about her life and what's going on and her coffee friend and all of that good stuff. So you can paint. You can clean your room like Miss Sonia did. You can sew on whatever you want to. But if you're wanting to do the Mystery Mayhem quilt, which is free, and it's New Year's Day, we're having 2 prior Jitsis so that to work on early stuff to prepare for the Mystery Day, because I thought I could do it with you and show you what a mystery quilt is all about. So Marcia wants to know, how do you do a Jitsi? Well, what you do is you go onto our site or email me. I will send you a link. You click on the link and up will pop the screen. And it says, do you want to join a meeting? And you click join meeting. And then you'll come in and there we are. And I will have my email up. So in case you have a problem or you're not sure what to do, I'll check my email in case you're trying to get in. So you can either, yes, and I will resend the information to our group. I will send a special email. It says, use this link to do the Jitsi sew and chat. And if you're not a member of our group, just email me at ourtimetoquilt@twc.com. And that morning, I'll send you the link to come join us. And so we just sit and we talk. And you don't have to have the camera on if you don't want people to see your messy hair or whatever. Or if your room's too messy, you don't have to have the camera on. And but it's fun just to listen to what people have to say. And during part of it, I will be telling those who are working on the mystery with me, okay, this is what we need to do now. If you want to do, you're very welcome, sweetie. If you want to do the Merry Mayhem mystery, you need to go to Merry Mayhem, MERRYM. Well, let me type it in. But you need to go to MerryMayhem.com. Now, I capitalized the second M. You don't have to capitalize that. Her name is Mary May, and so her mysteries are called Mayhem, which is so cute. She's been doing mysteries for gobs of years, and I think she does just amazing mysteries. And the thing I love about piecing, this is a quilt piecing mystery. The thing I love about this is that's how I learned to be a better quilter. You work on one step at a time. You have no idea what's coming on next, because I tend to be very distractible and I'm so anxious to get to the next step. Sometimes I rush through the current step and don't do it well. A mystery slowed me down and taught me to do one step at a time, and my piecing skills really improved. And hello, Sherilyn Turner. You might have to type your message again because I can't read that one. So, but anyway, if you go to MerryMayhem.com, she should have a link, something you can click on to join for free, to get her email newsletter. And that's when she'll send you the notices. And it is free. If you want to give her a little donation, there'll be a little link or button there. You can give her $1 or $3. But the main thing is that's when you'll get page 1 and 2 of the introduction to this mystery. And she is so good about giving you information on how to choose your fabrics so that you'll like the resulting mystery quilt. And hers, I love. So anyway, and I'm not sure what Sherilyn is typing here. If somebody comes up with, okay, if someone comes up with, and it's not me and it's not a moderator, do not click any links that come up that aren't by a chatter or me or moderator. So I just stopped that because I'm not sure what she was really trying. She might have just mistyped something. So, but I try to protect y'all on here. Another thing, and I'm trying to remember who it was that just wrote me an email, Lisa Capon Quilts. Okay, let's see. LISACAPEN. She has a Facebook, YouTube, all of that. I mean, she's big leagues. I'm tiny potatoes, but she's big leagues. And look up Lisa Capon Quilts. She's doing a paint by letter mystery right now. And oh boy, she's got a brand new episode coming out tomorrow, a live episode. She's showing you how to take acrylic paint, what to mix it with to make it where you paint the designs on the mystery. And so I can't wait. I'm hoping to join in on that one. All right. I think that's about it for me today. What kind of questions? And I will send you the link. And what I do is when I send you something and when I put something, I put it on the front page of our group. If you can't get to our group for whatever reason, shoot me an email and I'll send it to you right back. But when I put something important on the group, I put a pin, a virtual pin to stick it there. So look in one of the pin things. You don't have to scroll through gobs and gobs of messages. So I think I've told you all I can think about. I got some good comments from the beautiful YouTube site I recommended to you. If you weren't here to get it, I'm going to type the museum, Strawberry Bank Museum, and it's in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Okay? They have a live stream camera of an ice rink, and it's in a gorgeous early 18th century village. It is just charming. I say early 18th, might be early 19th too, because they did have Currier and Ives dress skaters. Hi, Kathy Boyd. So good to see you. So if you haven't had a chance to go see Strawberry Bank Museum ice skating, especially this time of year. Isn't it beautiful, Mary? It is wonderful. And you'll see people of all ages skating. And I love the little boys who are probably 8 years old, arms and legs flying every direction, but they are amazing. And once in a while, you'll get somebody who can do a beautiful spin or a beautiful flying camel or something, But all right, guys, I am worn out. I'm going to go rest. It was a good day. It was a good report. And I need to get I have a ton of Christmas decorations to have ready by Sunday. So I got a lot to show you this Sunday. So I'll see whoever would like to, whoever would like to join us for our Jitsi Saturday morning, look on our group's IO or send me an email at Our Time To Quilt at twc.com, and I will shoot you a link to get on. You have to have a link. It's very easy. And then Sunday, we'll continue with our Christmas Ornament Palooza, where I try to find every way possible to have fun and make decorations and gifts for Christmas on the cheap. So, all right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. And I will see you next week when we really are going to do Bobbin Work. Okay? Oh, there's Cheryl living. Yay! Yeah, y'all take good care. Have a good weekend. Take good care of yourself. We don't want anybody getting sick at Christmas. Take care. Y'all are the best. Bye-bye, everyone. Yeah, around 10 a.m. That's New York time. 10 a.m. New York time. All right. Bye-bye, y'all. You're the best.